So, still exam season. I decided after the last video I made about being stressed about exams, I thought let's do this video and give you some own tips for how to survive exam season. So, exam season, there's so much going on and it can help to know a bit more. By the time you get to like university or just actually by the time you get nowadays it's exams all the time, but when you've done a certain amount of exams you get some tips in and you know what to do. But for those who don't know that at this stage, I thought let's just help people out. So my first exam survival tip is make flashcards that contain as much information as possible. So this helps because then, so set yourself a challenge of like taking one piece of paper and just writing all of your notes on that one piece of paper. Everything, as much as you need on that one piece of paper. Don't spend too much time on it because you do need to revise other things as well. But that way, make sure that they contain most of the situations where you're most confused about, and that way they contain most of the notes that you need and you're carrying less stuff than you need, so you're not carrying around worksheets and books and stuff that you don't need. Though I would say take your textbook with you. Number 2, I would say look over past papers. So you should have done past papers at this stage, especially if you had any available for you. Then look at the past papers, do the past papers, blah blah blah. Look at the mark schemes and any questions that you didn't know the answers to or you didn't know what to write. Look at the mark schemes and work out the marking kind of the marking structure kind of. So what will they give if it's like a 5-mark question? Where do each of those 5 marks go to? Which are the words they're looking for? And so that just helps you to easily get the marks that you need. Even with questions that you do know, make sure that you're looking over them. So definitions, are they asking you for the units as well, or the formulas, or everything, so that you know how exactly to get those marks. So you can just sit down in the exam and just write quickly and get the 3 marks that you need, instead of waffling around and be missing 1 or 2 of those marks because you ran out of space or something. Number 3, it's an obvious one, but it's a good one. Eat well. So, just generally in life you should be eating well, but near the exams, it's near summer, exam season is so much close to summer, and it can be tempting to like not eat so much or to diet or things like that, but just don't do it. When it comes to exam season, it doesn't matter. Just focus on you and focus on getting those marks as good as you can. Number 4. Yep. Number 4. So sleep well. I would say this for pretty much the whole of exam season, but at least for the days before you have exams. Sleep well. Get tons of rest so you're not kind of panicky, and that don't let sleep be a reason that you're panicking or you're not doing as well in your exams. Number 5. Don't overload on coffee or energy drinks. It's so tempting to do it, and I know tons of people that have done it, but if you don't do it personally, or if you're not kind of used to having it, don't do it. Even if you are used to having it, just don't overdo it, because these aren't things that are meant to be overloaded on. Nothing is meant to be overloaded on, but these aren't things that it's healthy to overload on. Just take it slowly, and if you feel like you're tired, overly tired or something, just take a break and recuperate. Don't force yourself with coffee and energy drinks, because it can just suck, especially before the exam, because you might need to pee a lot, and 2, the down can give you like headaches and stuff. So when you're having coffee and energy drinks and stuff, it all feels so good, but when you're coming down, which if you're having a long paper, maybe in the middle of your paper, you don't want that to happen, because then that can just suck the life out the rest of your exam. Number 6, deal with each exam as it comes, if you can. This is a big if you can. If you have 2 exams in a day, then you can't deal with them, each of them as they come. I had that in my A levels, and in GCSEs you have that as well. But for AS, they were kind of spread out, so it was okay. But if you can, deal with the revision for each exam as it comes. So deal with this exam and then with this exam. So that way you're not kind of 15 pages of revision for 2 topics going on at the same time, because that never works. Linked into this one is the next one, which is give yourself a short break after each exam. Again, if you can. I would say, actually, even if you can't, even if it's just like, I mean, if it's 2 in the day, then you can't give yourself a short break, but you know, if you have 1 in the afternoon and 1 the next morning, the break can't be that long. But at least use the commute home, or probably just the commute home, to just relax. Don't think about any studying. Don't think about anything, just switch off, because it's important. That kind of switching off time is good, and it's just great. It works. If you have them like a week away from each other, I would say you can increase your relaxing time, but don't ever make it more than a day. Because if you leave it more than a day, it's so tempted to kind of click into that mode and just be like, I don't want to revise anymore, I'm tired. Because there's almost this level of tired where if you admit it to yourself a lot more, then you kind of fall into this cycle of just being super, super tired and not getting anything done at all. So just don't fall into that. Just stay above that level and just say, I'm tired, but I don't want to rest beyond a day. I rambled on throughout that, but anyway. Number 8. Work out whether group study or individual study is better for you. So for me personally, whenever I had an exam, people would come before that exam and they would study in groups. And that's great. Like, it's great for them, and I think if people like joining together and studying, that's a productive thing to do, and I'm really for that. But for me personally, I don't work well with group study. Like, it's just I think my social issues as well as this, but it's just with group study I get stressed because there's things that I don't know, and I get stressed about the things that I don't know. And I think sometimes I do that ignorance is bliss method better. But yeah, so if you find group study stressful, just don't go for it. Do something by yourself. Number 9, I think it is. 9 is... So this is an obvious one as well. Make sure you arrive early for your exam. So at least like half an hour before the exam. And when you arrive early, switch off. Like, you've done as much studying as you can. If you do any more studying outside the exam hall, it will just make you more stressful, and it will just... It doesn't do anything for you. Like, it doesn't... When you're sitting outside an exam hall and you're trying to cram in stuff, you don't remember anything, but it just gets you stressed. So just don't even think about the exam, or don't even think about anything for that half an hour before, because it can be really, really beneficial just to do that. Anyway, I hope this video helped, and I'm going to come up with another video, partially because I just found this slip of paper where I wrote down a bunch of tips for myself. So I think last year, I was thinking about doing this last year summer, and I wrote like a bunch of tips for myself on a piece of paper, and I was like, partly to make a YouTube video and partly to just help with my own exams in the future. And I wrote down like tips on specifics on how to study, how to deal with exams, but I'll probably do that video again. It has quite a big cross-section, so I'll tell you this now. There are some things that I mentioned in this that I mentioned in that, because they're kind of obvious, but that one will be my exam tips video, and that will be coming very soon. And if you want to see that, subscribe. Also, if you just want to see my face again, subscribe. If you like the video, make sure to like it, and I will hopefully see you guys again soon. Well, hopefully you guys will see me again soon. Anyway, okay, Bye.